Kamara Drive-In. It's a coach. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious that that'll help them win.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack.
Here we go.
To throw is James. Off play action. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now a play fake here on first down. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sets them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Looking to throw. James. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On second down, Kamara. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that time?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day. Here's James on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Jackson on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now,
it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
James looking to throw on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. James now to throw on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Now James on 1st and 10. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw on second down. James throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. To throw is James. Throwing on first down. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go!
Here's James looking to throw on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Back to throw. James. And he comes back with one complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. James throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. James to throw on second down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there, bank at the 39-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
James now throwing on 3rd and long. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Now James. A final shot before break. And he floated one out there incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 39 that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They come out here in the eye. Jackson rolling to his right. And he slings one that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Set, blue 90.
He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Jackson on 1st down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 61 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Let's go.
To throw is James. Off the play fake. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Back to throw. James. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And his throw here's incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right. They have had no room to breathe. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills claw one back. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. Powers through. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a third-quarter score. And the Lions have scored to move in front. Baker Mayfield, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Yeah, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Let's go! Brian 38! Brian 38!
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's James looking to throw on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now as a quarterback, 3rd and long. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. James throwing on 3rd and long. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And now out come the Bills. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
James now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bills are able to make things a bit more respectable.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Jackson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Jackson. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here come the Bills. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. James. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have...
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Space to run past the 20. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
This is going to sound crazy, but that type of a carry, big-time run, actually brings a high and a low to it. And the high, of course, is the run. But the low, he didn't quite get to the end zone, just short of the pylon. What do you think he's doing in the huddle right now? Guaranteed he's lobbying for the football.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Carlson now to kick this one away. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Now James to throw on 2nd down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go.
To throw is James. From the gun, he'll throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's James, operating from the gun. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
James on 1st and 10. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
you